Good morning and happy Saturday. Welcome to Transform Your Life in 15 Minutes. My name is McAdams. I'm an author and I'm also an accounting professor and a certified life coach. I specialize in personal and small business finance and also fitness. I help people reach their goals, and how I do that? Well, multiple ways. One of the ways is on this live broadcast, we are discussing the 7 habits of highly effective people. And this is a book that was written by Dr. Covey. And if you haven't already, I highly recommend that you get a copy of this book. What I'm doing on this broadcast is kind of giving you little inserts, insight into the book. But the book, like I said, it's like 400 some pages. It's a lot of pages, in other words. Oh, I just remembered a couple things. Oh, well. But it's a lot of pages that are in the book, and so obviously goes much more depth than what I'm going through in these little 5-minute excerpts. But today, what I want to do is I want to briefly discuss those 7 habits with you because we've already talked about them. So this is going to be like a day of summarizing those habits, kind of putting them all together in one spot. And then I will also talk about the next book that we were going to be reading. All right, give me a second here. Now, we talked about habits, okay? And habits are important because if you're trying to reach goals, no matter what the goals are, okay? And that's one thing about these habits. This is like foundational. We're talking about principles. These are foundational things that if you incorporate in your life, you're going to find that it's going to be easier for you to reach the goals that you set for yourself, because these are going to be just something that you do automatic. Now, with that being said, I kind of, throughout the broadcast beforehand, I start off by talking about your mind and how your mind works. And that's important as it relates to habits, because a lot of times, again, when we're trying to reach our goals, we say, okay, I know I have this habit, but you're wondering sometimes, like, why is it so hard to change the habits? Well, I just want to give you a brief review of what we talked about. And it's this picture right here. And I know it's backwards. I didn't rewrite this one yet. But anyway, so this is a picture of your mind right here. As you can see, the very top portion of your mind is known as the conscious mind. It's also the thinking mind. And this bottom portion right here is the subconscious mind, and it's the also known as the emotional mind. And this is where your habits, your beliefs are formed. This is in the subconscious. So if you're wondering why you can think, this is what I want to do, but for some reason you can't do it, it's because of that subconscious mind. Now, if you notice the subconscious mind right here, this is where the habits and the beliefs are stored right here. And I talked about what it came from when we were little. This is how we were when we were small, and then we were actually things were fed into our subconscious by our parents, our environment, church, just things that we interacted with. Okay, so it was kind of fed into those habits and those beliefs. And then growing up, sometimes we keep those habits and beliefs even though they no longer serve us. Well, as you can see, this is the body. So based upon what your habits and your beliefs are going to determine your actions or your results or their lack thereof. So in other words, if you're wondering why it's so hard for you, like you set these goals and you do these things and and you have these steps that you want to do, but then you find it's hard to, let's say, wake up or incorporate them, is because of certain habits that you have. And so that's what we're talking about in the 7 habits, is how to address those habits and how to change them. And then also, even more important, the fact that you can change them. A lot of times we don't realize that you can change a habit. You can change a belief. If there's a belief that you've grown up with for 30, 40, 50 years, however old you are, and it no longer serves you, guess what? You can change it. It's your prerogative to change it. You don't have to keep it just because that's the way I was, or that's the way I was taught, or I grew up doing this. Well, if that no longer serves you, I'm letting you know you have the permission to change it if you want. So when we talk about habits, Dr. Covey mentioned, again, backwards, got it. Habits is the intersection of knowledge, skill, and desire. Okay, so you may know that you want to do something. Okay, you may have the skill to do it, but if you don't have the desire to do it, guess what? It's not going to be a habit. And remember, habits are this automatic pilot. Good morning, Nisi. Good to see you. Hi, Nisi. All right, so it's that automatic pilot that we have. That again, it just kicks in without us even thinking about. I'll give you the perfect example. A perfect example happened to me this morning. This is no lie. I just did not want to get up for some reason. Maybe I'm in a funk or something. Who knows, right? I didn't want to get up. But then I was like, no, I got to get up. I got to do this live. It was almost like it was a habit. Like, even though like my conscious mind was like, oh, you just want to lay here. Subconscious is like, I've already developed this habit for a long time of getting up and doing this. And so I made myself get up and do it. Now, when I say I made myself, it wasn't like it wasn't like a willful fight. Like, oh, I'm just laying down there debating. But there was a conscious thought, like, wouldn't it just be nice just to lay here? I mean, it's Saturday morning and, blah, blah, blah. But it's in me and I had that desire. And so therefore I was able to push through. That's what I'm talking about. If I didn't have the desire, obviously I'm going to have the skill how to do it. I know the knowledge, but if I didn't have that desire to get up and do this, guess what? I would lay my butt right there in that bed, and then I'd be like, okay, whatever. I'll put a little notice on cancel, whatever. All right. So in other words, when it becomes a habit, it's something that's really instilled within you, and you're saying, well, how did it become a habit? You have to have the knowledge of what it is you want to do. You have to have the skill, and then just as important, you have to have the desire. Those three things make up a habit. If you miss one of the three, it's not going to be a habit, and then you're going to fight with yourself. Okay, so without further ado, because I don't want to kind of go over, let's go ahead and just kind of review those habits. Habit number one was be proactive. And remember, be proactive is just being, I'll give you an example. Being proactive would be, let's say you decide, you know how you look and you know the status of your health. Okay, go ahead and do something about it as opposed to waiting for the doctor to say, okay, you need to lose this or that, or you have diabetes now you have to do this. In other words, waiting until after you hear the diagnosis is being reactive. Being proactive is taking the initiative to do it. Also, being proactive is using that positive language that I can do it. There's a better way. Okay, none of this I'll try or I can't. Okay, so be positive in your language. Use proactive language. That will also help you. All right, second habit. I'll talk about it later. Second habit is begin with the end in mind. All right, so what is it that you want to accomplish? And more importantly, did you research this? Because what you don't want to do is you don't want to reach a goal and then find out that it really wasn't what you thought because your ladder was on the wrong wall, right? So in other words, whatever your goal is, let's just use the example of losing weight. Why is it that you want to lose weight? Not only what's involved, you can pretty much figure out what's involved, right? I'm not talking about the practical, if you will, okay? I'm not talking about the mental, okay? So why is it that you really want to lose weight? Then you may find out that, you know what, you really want to lose weight because you want to be happy. Well, guess what? Being happy doesn't necessarily equate to losing weight, or losing weight doesn't necessarily equate to being happy. So maybe you need to put your ladder on another wall about what does it mean to be happy for you. You may find that you could be happy at the weight that you are, and then you start doing things that make you happy and you start losing weight. Okay, so in other words, begin with the end in mind. And all of these guys, I need to stress this, that when we're talking about these habits, we're not talking about taking action as far as like physically doing something. This is more of the mental, right? This is more of the inside out approach. This is about thinking about what it is that you want first. Learning yourself, getting in tune with those habits and seeing what's serving you, what's not serving you, and then changing that. And then you can take the steps, the action. So far, like we're so conditioned on just doing things and doing things really quickly, and wanting the quick fix and tricks. And then we find out they don't work. Well, I'm telling you why they don't work. Okay, so let's start with these habits. So begin with the end in mind is the second one. All right, so then the third one, where's my little diagram? I have to get it here. Give me a second. The third one is put first things first. And we talked about time management on this one. And we mainly talked about, this is the one here. Let me kind of go back so you can see it. There it is. We talked about being these quadrant 2 activities, all right? So these are important, not urgent. These are the things that you want to do. Remember, quad 1 was the crises, and we spend a lot of our time putting out fires. But we really should spend our time here in quad 2. And then we also mentioned that how do we get the time to do quad 2 activities? We take it from 3 and 4. All right. So example, a quad 2 activity would be to focus on your, thank you, Nisi. That's right. Time management is very, very important, guys, because we always make excuses that we don't have time to do this. But again, in putting first things first, you make the time. And again, the quad 2 activities would be things like focusing on your health and on your relationship and those kinds of things, right? And then, quad 3 activities, these are the things that you let other people, that's important to other people. So you let them infringe upon yourself. Like you're doing something else and someone interrupts you to do something else. Like, I mentioned, like if you're at work, your boss comes in and says, I have to have this report done by the end of the day. So you kind of drop what you're doing. All right. And then quad 4 were those mindless activities that we do, like scroll through Facebook or watching TV. So if you're wondering why you don't have time for those quad 2 activities, you take away the time from quad 3 and quad 4. Okay. And I mentioned all this in detail. So if I'm kind of going rushes as a summary, it's because we've already talked about these. This is more of a review. All right, so let's start again. Be proactive. Begin with the end in mind and put first things first. Those first 3 habits are about self-mastery, okay? Those are moving you from the dependence to independent, okay? Now, habits 4 through 6, oh, I was right, 4 through 6 Habits 4 through 6 is going to be more of the interdependence. This is when we're getting in the mindset of we, okay, of dealing with other people. So habit number 4 is going to be think win-win. And this is a situation where you incorporate win-win situations. You have an abundance mindset. You don't think that you have to win in order for, or someone has to lose in order for you to win, or vice versa. And also too, even though this is more of getting into the quadrant or getting into the interdependence, I want you to understand too that the think win-win can also apply to just you. So for example, let's say that you want to lose weight, right? And so in order to lose weight, that means that you have to eat healthy, and you want to incorporate some exercise and reduce your stress and all the things that's involved, right? Well, let's go to the food. And then all of a sudden you deprive yourself of your favorite foods. Well, guess what? That's a win-lose situation for you, because those are your favorite foods, but now you're saying I no longer can eat them because I'm trying to lose weight. Well, is that going to work for you over the long run? It's not. You're gonna falter, right? Because it's a habit. It's something that you desire. You want that food. So a win-win situation would be to limit the amount that you have, or to, let's say, reduce it one a day. Like my example is, everyone knows me knows I love cereal. My favorite is one of the worst, right? It's Fruity Pebbles, and I say it's one of the worst because it's just sugar. I love Fruity Pebbles. It's been my favorite for all time. Well, guess what? Now I've gotten under control. I can actually. Yeah, I can. I can actually walk by a box in my kitchen, and if it's there, I don't even buy it anymore, to tell you the truth. But if it was there, I can actually walk by and not have to have the whole box. I can eat a bowl, or I can even walk by and not eat a bowl, depending on whatever. But in other words, a win-win situation can also incorporate with yourself. So don't deprive yourself of your favorite foods. Maybe limit them. Do it down to once a day, and then you can do it sporadically, or just once in the blue moon. Like for me, that I haven't had, oh my gosh, it's been, oh gosh, what is this, we're now August. I've not had Fruity Pebbles all year. So that's what I'm saying. That's my favorite cereal, but I haven't had it. It's probably been over a year since I've actually had it. So in other words, you can actually do it as a win-win situation by slowly diffusing that from your life. All right, so that's think win-win. All right, so then the next one is seek first to understand, and then to be understood. And this is with your relationships with others, yourself as well, right? You got to understand yourself. Like, remember, all these start off with your self-mastery first, but or I should say yourself be first. But seek first to understand, then to be understood. This is important when you're dealing with your relationships with other people, because a lot of times we jump to conclusions about what we think that they're talking about based upon our own paradigms, our own perceptions, our own experiences. But really put yourself in the mindset of what the person that you're talking with or arguing with or confronting, put yourself into their situation, their frame of mind, and try to think of, or try to understand it from their point of view. Okay, so that will help you with your interactions with other people. All right, and then we take it to number 6, and number 6 was to synergize. And again, synergy is about the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. So this is again about incorporating, it's incorporating the win-win and also seeking first to understand, because I mentioned the example I gave was there was a tree with 5 apples and 2 people that were too small to reach it. And if one of them stood on the shoulder or sat on the shoulder of the other, then the person can reach all the apples, and they both can benefit that. So synergize is look for situations where where you can actually come together and as a whole. And even for yourself, I like to give an example. Like you say, well, how can you, even though synergize has to deal with other people, but you can also synergize with yourself, right? In other words, your whole made up of parts. So another way that you could do it with the other people is, if your goal is to lose weight, maybe find someone else that has a similar goal, and then you work together and incorporate on how to reach your goals together. That's that accountability. That's very, very important when you're trying to reach your goals. And Nisi, my BFF that's on, is actually my accountability partner, and her butt is probably on because I really wasn't feel like getting up this morning. I heard her in her head, Pia, consistency. Whatever, Nisi. All right, and then last but not least, we have sharpen the saw. And the sharpen the saw is about taking care of your most important asset, which is yourself. Okay, we talked about the learn, commit, and the do. Learn, commit, and do. Learn, commit, and do. And these are in the 4 areas. Yeah, I know it. Nisi. Into those 4 areas. So it's the physical, it's the mental, it's the spiritual, and it's the social. So learn, commit, and do. Incorporate, learn, commit, and do. Self-master yourself in that. Now, I know you're always watching, even when you're not. I know it. I get it. Trust me, you're in my head. You're in my subconscious. Like, seriously, that's what an accountability partner does for you. And also, that's what a coach does for you as well, right? A really good coach. They're really in your head, even though they're sitting on your shoulder. And so when you're getting into one of those funks or those moods where you don't feel like doing something, you know that they're there saying you can do it. They're helping, encouraging you, because they usually sometimes have the belief in you even when you don't have it into yourself. And that's very, very important, guys, because we're not in this world alone. Like, we a lot of times think that we are, but we're not in this world alone. We are surrounded by people. We are all connected, and it's just a matter of tapping into that connectivity, and it will help you reach your goal. So again, that is in the conclusion of the 7 habits. Let me just go through them one more time. Is be proactive. You want to begin with the end in mind. You want to put first things first. You want to think win-win. You want to seek first to understand, then to be understood. You want to have have synergy. So you want to synergize, and then you of course want to sharpen the saw. Those are your 7 habits of highly effective people. And if you research any of the people that you consider successful, I guarantee you they will incorporate those 7 habits. These are habits. These are things that will help you in life in any situation. You literally right now can type out the situation, and I can tell you how those habits will help you in that situation. Okay. All right, so what happened was I was charging my Kindle to show you the next book, but I left it on the charge, and I don't want to go off screen to give it to you, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you what the next book is. The next book I'm excited to announce is The Compound Effect, and this is by Darren Hardy. Okay, so The Compound Effect is going to be our next book that we're going to read, and the next live, guys, will begin on Monday, August the 21st. So yes, you have a couple of weeks to get that book and get started reading. If you're interested, which you really should be, right? That's why you're here. You want to transform your life, and that involves working on that mind. Remember, we talked about, wanting those quick fixes, and I talked about talking to that engineer and saying, you know what, forget about the foundation. Give me those little magic bricks so I can float away. Well, you're going to float away with those magic bricks because they don't exist. Okay, so it's about reading those 15 pages a day. Even if you start off with a page a day, 2 pages a day, start off with something. Okay, and it doesn't have to be 15 in one reading. Can I read with you? Yes, you can. You do read with me. She's funny this morning. But it's about, doing the things that's going to help you to transform. Okay, so our book next time is going to the live is going to be, I'm going to give you a 2-week hiatus. I give myself a 2-week hiatus. And within those 2 weeks, guys, remember, do you wait 2 weeks to brush your teeth? I mean, if you do, you don't. So in other words, even though I'm not going to be on live for 2 weeks, I still want you to incorporate those habits, right, that we've been doing. I mean, if you have not habits, those exercises, let's put it that way. For those of you who've been watching for a while, it may have become a habit now, but those exercises, we're talking about the mind, the body, and the soul. If I can be talking while I'm moving on to the next segment. So make sure that you're still incorporating these exercises, even though I'm going to be off for 2 weeks. Words, read something informative, and if you haven't had a chance to get the book 7 Habits, or if you have it, then read those books, because remember, I just gave you an excerpt. I just gave you excerpts of the book, but I didn't go into detail. The book goes in much more detail. So maybe take out that book and start reading. But in other words, don't wait for 2 weeks for you not to do anything. As far as the body is concerned, let's make sure I haven't forgotten anything. For the body, you want to do your yoga. And I've been giving, 5-minute yoga routines. That's perfect to do in the morning, guys. Even if you don't remember. Matter of fact, you know what I'll do this morning? I just thought about it. Oh, my light again. What I'll do this morning is I'll do the salutation. And I'll do a couple rounds of salutation. So even for the next 2 weeks, if you just went through and did those salutations, then that would be a great thing for you to do. Excellent first thing in the morning. Isn't that right, Nisi? Did you do your yoga? You're going to do it with me. No, you're going to do it with me. You're watching. So let's do this. Let's do the yoga salutation this morning, and I'll just go through several rounds of it, and then depending on time, then I may incorporate a couple of poses. But just doing the yoga salutation for, when you wake up, or do, anytime throughout the day, is a good one to do. And as far as the meditation, I also I've been giving 5-minute meditations, or guided meditations for relaxation. So that as well. So for the next 2 weeks, I still want you to incorporate these things, and I may pop on, because I know I'm gonna miss you guys. I may pop on and just kind of pop on and do something, but we'll see. All right, so anyway, so now we're moving on to the yoga. This is your mind-body connection. I want you to think in terms of slowing down, getting in tune with yourself in this present moment of how you're feeling right now. Not yesterday, not 2 minutes ago, not this morning, not 5 minutes from now. Okay, what are you feeling right now? What's going on internally? I'm like a sticker about this. There we go. What's going on internally, right? What's going on with your mind, your body, any joints, any aches, any pains, any stiffness. And I want you to use your breath to help you release those things out of your body. Okay, so use your breath. The breath is a cleansing mechanism. Okay, so use your breath to help cleanse your body. And then immediately follow that. we're going to go into the meditation. You're going to see that, oh, it's there. I thought I forgot to take that iPad because I charged that one this morning as well. But we'll go into a 5-minute guided meditation. And again, this is something that you can do. You can, rewind one of the ones that I do and do a meditation. Or even if you just take a couple of breaths, like this deep ujjayi breaths. Maybe take 3 deep ujjayi breaths during the middle of your day when you're feeling stressed. That will help you, okay? Just try to calm your mind. Just take a couple breaths, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and get to the yoga. Let's do the salutation. And just to show you that, for the next 2 weeks, I'm not leaving you. I'm going to be right here on your shoulder because I believe in you. All right, let's get started. Okay. Give me let's see. Sorry. I want to make sure you can actually see, so I want to go up a little higher. All right, so this time we're going to start at the kind of top of our mat because we're doing the salutation. I want to do the salutation as it stands. We're going to come to Tadasana, so make sure that your feet are either together or hip distance apart. Mine are slightly apart just because I'm knock-kneed, so I usually keep my hips slightly apart, and my feet slightly apart. Your toes are spread out wide, your shoulders are drawn in back. Your head is a natural extension of the spine. You're going to pretend like there's a string pulling you from the top of your head all the way up to the ceiling. And from the bottom, your feet, there's a root that's growing from the bottom of your feet all the way down through the floor, all the way down to Middle Earth, and it's attached to itself and it's nice and strong. Okay? This is Tadasana. This is known as mountain pose. Go ahead and take a couple of deep breaths here and go ahead and get yourself grounded. Set an intention for what it is that you want to accomplish for this next 5 minutes. Go ahead and place your hands together at heart center. Take a deep breath. And as you exhale, go ahead and release your hands down toward your side. On your next breath, take the arms up overhead. And as you exhale, I want you to dive your body forward. Forward fold to Uttanasana. Now remember, if you don't have the flexibility in hamstring, you may just be here, which is fine, okay? And if you need to, go ahead and bend your knees because we're going to take our arms flat. And we're going to step back, left, right into the plank. From the plank, you're going to release your knees, chest, and chin. And then as you inhale, you're going to bring your body forward to upper facing dog. You're going to relax your shoulders, draw them away from your ears. And as you exhale, you're going to curl those toes under, and you're going to go to downward facing dog. And we're just going to pedal for a moment here. Just kind of pause here. Try to get those heels down. You want to make sure that your fingers and your toes are spread out nice and wide. Your middle fingers are facing to the front. Your thumbs are facing inward. Your head is in alignment with your bicep, and you're pressing your chest toward your thighs and your knees. All right, now we're going to step forward, left, right. We're going to inhale, take it all the way up. And we're going to exhale, we're going to dive the body forward. Now this time as we inhale, we're going to look up halfway. As we exhale, we're going to forward fold in Uttanasana. Place the palms down flat. We're going to step back, right, left into the plank. Release your knees, chest, chin as you continue to exhale. And as you inhale, you're going to bring your body forward to upper facing dog. Again, if you need to have soft elbows, modify this need be. And then as you exhale, you're going to curl your toes under and take it to downward facing dog. And again, it's in the morning, so I like to pedal to get those muscles warmed up in the back of your legs. You're feeling the stretch from the bottom of your tailbone all the way down to the bottom of your heels, trying to press those heels down toward the mat. If you're doing the regular downward facing dog, you want to lift your kneecaps to engage those quadriceps and also give you a deeper stretch. Remember, you can modify the downward facing dog by taking to a wide stance. So I'm going out to the edges of my mat. This time we're going to step forward, right, left. And we're going to inhale, take it all the way up, arch back. Exhale, guide the body forward to Uttanasana. Inhale, look up halfway. Flatten out the palms, step back, left, right, to the plank. Release your knee, chest, chin, or Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale to upper facing dog. Curl the toes under. Exhale to downward facing dog. Now, downward facing dog is the resting position. You want to stay here for a few breaths. It's usually about 5 breaths that I stay in downward facing dog, but in the 5-minute time, it's usually a couple breaths that I stay in here. But you want to send yourself, you want to ground yourself. Even though this is used as a warm-up, you don't want to rush through it, because remember, yoga is not about just going through the movement or through the poses. It's about going internally, seeing what's going on. So now is a good time to take a break and find out what's going on with your body. Is there any stress, any tension, any strain, any negativity? Release those from your body. All right, let's go ahead and step forward, left, right. Inhale, take it all the way up, arch back. Exhale, dive the body forward. Look up halfway. Flatten out the palms, step back, right, left into the plank. Release your knee, chest, chin, or chaturanga dandasana as you exhale. As you inhale, take it to upper facing dog. And then curl your toes under to downward facing dog. Now what you're going to find is as our bodies start to warm up, we start to move just a little faster through that salutation, particularly if that's all you're going to be doing. Okay? Now let's go ahead and step forward, right, left. Inhale, take it all the way up. Arch back. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Left, right. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, guide the body forward. Look up halfway. Flatten out the palms, step back, right, left into the plank. Knee, chest, chin, or chaturanga dandasana. Inhale to upper facing dog. Curl the toes under. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step forward, right, left. Let's go ahead and hang in Uttanasana, forward fold. Take your fingertips and clasp the other edges of your elbow. Now, for some of you, may be up here. Okay, that's fine. As you inhale, just kind of hold your position. As you exhale, surrender, release. Try to relax on the exhalation. Then take another breath and just hold. Now you want to let the crown of your head bring your body weight naturally forward. But again, don't move on the inhalation, just hold on the inhalation. And you want to make the movement on the exhalation. So as you exhale, release and surrender into the stretch. And let's kind of hold this for a while because we tend to be tight in our hamstrings. We work a lot with our quadriceps, even with exercise. A lot of times we work out with our quadriceps and it shortens the muscles in our hamstring. And then we become tight. So we need to loosen those muscles, and the best way to do it is when your body is nice and warm. Okay? So right now, even just going through a couple of those rounds of salutations, my body is warm, and I feel my muscles releasing, and my hamstrings lengthening out as I'm releasing in this forward fold. All right, let's go ahead and release the fingertips down. Look up halfway. Forward fold one more time. Inhale, take it all the way up. Arch back. Exhale. Inhale, flatten out the back. Tailbone sticks out to the back of the room. This is also a nice good stretch right here on the hamstrings. They're going internal. I see that where my hamstrings are feeling tight. I'm using my breath to release that. Forward fold, flatten out. This time we're going to step back left, right. Let's hold the plank. So again, just doing this salutation right here, a few rounds of this, it's enough to work your whole body and get nice and warm. And you can stop on different poses, like right here, this plank. This is a full body workout, okay? It's a static stretch, a static pose. But it's one of those power poses as you're breathing. Your belly button's in toward your spine. You're pressing your weight toward your heels. Now, we're going to move on to the upper body, so we're going to do a chaturanga, or you can release your knee, chest, and chin. But I'm going to show you, I'm going to release my knees and do a modified chaturanga. So my knees are going to go down. Now, it's not a push-up, so your elbows are not going to go out wide. It's not a regular push-up. But what you want to do is you want to take those elbows behind. Okay, so skim your rib cage with those elbows as you go down. So you can do this on your knees. And then inhale, take it up. Curl those toes under, exhale. Step forward, left, right. Inhale, take it all the way up. Arch back. Look up halfway. Flatten out the palms. This time it's right, left to the plank. Let's go ahead and hold the plank here. Couple breaths. Remember, if you need to, modify the plank, release your knees. Now we're going to go Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale. Curl the toes under, exhale. Now this time we're going to take it, come up on our fingertips and walk it back to our toes. Forward fold, just here. You can also one more time. And then slowly round it up. One vertebrae at a time. Making sure that your head is the last to rise. All right, let's come to Tadasana, mountain pose, stand up nice and tall. Inhale. As you exhale, I want you to place your palms flat. Then I want you to walk your feet out to the edges of your mat. And as you exhale, release your tailbone down toward the mat. Again, you may feel stiff and tightness in the hip flexor because we spend a lot of our time sitting. So I love to end in this pose here, Malasana, because it opens up your hips. Now you're going to bring your palms together at the heart center. You're going to use your elbows and those triceps to push out on those inner thighs as you're pressing your palms together at the heart center. Now you're going to bow your head and give gratitude. And remember, as you're exhaling, you're releasing the joints and the hips, okay? Now release the palms down. And then slowly start to transition yourself into a comfortable seated position, facing forward. Make sure that you're on your sits bones and off the fleshy part of your bottom. Your chest is lifted, head is natural extension of your spine, fingertips are down here toward the mat. We're going to inhale all the positive energy as you bring those arms up overhead. And as you exhale, you're going to release all the negative energy. Again, nice deep breath. Inhaling and exhaling. One more time, nice deep breath. Inhaling. This time we're going to greet our palms together at the very top, and then we're going to exhale down through the center, bringing our palms at the heart center, and namaste. All right, thank you for that yoga session. Again, just going through for the next 2 weeks, just going through that salutation will help you warm up your body and continue to keep that mind-body connection. We're now moving on to the meditation, and this is perhaps one of the ones that may be challenging to you because, as I mentioned, those thoughts that come into our mind, which is a sign of living, a sign of having a healthy brain, okay, so, don't knock it, but we do want to try to control it, okay, so how we're going to do that is we're just going to focus on our breath. We're going to do that ujjayi breathing, that when you inhale, your belly's going to expand as the diaphragm makes its way up towards the chest cavity, and as your lungs fill with oxygen, your chest is going to expand out as well. That's as you inhale. And then as you exhale, your chest is going to collapse. The diaphragm is going to return back to its original position. The belly button is going to go in and collapse as well. Okay, so that's what we're going to be focusing on internally is ujjayi breathing. Make sure you're in a nice comfortable position. If you're sitting down in a chair, take your shoes off. Again, you can do this at the middle of the day. Take your shoes off. Ground your feet on the floor. Just kind of place your hand loosely in your lap. Make sure you're not slouching in your chair. You're sitting up on the edge of your chair. And if you're lying down, try to keep your tongue off the roof of your mouth. That'll help hopefully keep you from falling asleep. But this is about relaxation, so Sometimes I actually do a meditation as I'm going to sleep with the intention of going to sleep. So meditating relax my brain with the intention of going to sleep. So this is first thing in the morning right now, so I don't want to go back to sleep. But make sure that you're comfortable. If you're sitting down, you can slightly touch your thumb, your index finger with your other fingers out. You can also do another position where you place your one palm, your right palm inside your left palm, and then you slightly touch the tips of your thumbs together and just kind of relax this in your lap, okay? Or you could just sit with your hands on your side, whatever feels comfortable to you, okay? So find your comfortable position, see what's going on with the side of your body, and as you draw your next breath, as you exhale, I want you to close your eyes and just drop your chin down towards your chest. Now as you inhale, I want you to bring your head and chest forward. Your forehead goes up toward the sky. And as you exhale, relax and release your chin down toward your chest. Again, as you inhale, your head and chest goes up, forehead goes up toward the sky. And as you exhale, release your chin down toward your chest. One more time, inhale. This time as you exhale, bring your chin forward so that your head is a natural extension of your spine. Your eyes are still closed. And continue your deep Ujjayi breaths. Inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your mouth. I want you to pay no mind to any outside distractions that may be happening around you. Just go internal and just focus on your breath, inhaling deeply through your nose and exhaling through your mouth. Now your next breath, I want you to draw your attention to your forehead. I want you to scrunch those muscles real tight in your forehead. And as you exhale, release. Next, concentrate on all the muscles in your face. Squint your teeth, your nose, clench your teeth, your nose, your jaw. And as you exhale, release, relax all the muscles in your face. Next, bring those shoulders up toward those ears as you hunch your shoulders. And release. Remember, if there's any thoughts that are lingering around in your mind, just go ahead and just push them aside and just continue to focus on your breath. Inhaling deeply through your nose and exhaling through your mouth. Now I want you to ball your hands into a fist, and I want you to bring your palms forward toward the shoulders. And I want you to squeeze all the muscles in the upper body, including your arms. And then as you exhale, release. Open up the fingers and lengthen out the arms. Release all the tension and stress in the upper body and the arms. Continue your deep Ujjayi breaths. Now squeeze your belly button in toward your spine. And release. Now go ahead and squeeze your glute muscles together. Squeeze those butt cheeks really, really tight. And release. Now the muscles in your thighs, squeeze them really tight. And release. Calf muscles. Now I want you to ball your feet. Like squint your toes really, really tight. And release. Now on your next inhalation, take a nice deep cleansing breath. And as you exhale, release and relax any remaining tension that you find in any parts of your body. Good. Now for the next couple breaths, just enjoy the relaxed state. Calm mind, focusing on your breath. Good. Keep going. Now go ahead and take a nice deep breath, inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your mouth. Again, nice deep breath, inhaling and exhaling. One more time, nice deep breath, inhaling and exhale. All right, go ahead and open up your eyes and release, relax, return refreshed and calm. You've done something good for yourself today. All right, I want to thank you for taking the time to meditate with me, and also thank you for taking the time to watch this live transform your life in 15 minutes. Your word for today is transparent. I want you to be transparent today. And remember, we're going to return in 2 weeks on Monday, August the 21st. In the meantime, continue to do these 5-minute exercises throughout the day, and I will see you in 2 weeks. Bye.